Hi everyone. We're going to find the exact value of inverse trig expressions. For example, if we have cotan of inverse sine of 1/2. So the first thing we're going to do is look at the inner function and let this be our angle, our theta, and rewrite this and set it to theta because we're trying to find cotan of theta. And we know cotan of theta is x over y. So what we're going to do is write this as 1/2 equals sine of theta. Now we know sine of theta equals y over r. So we have our y. Our y is 1. But we need our x. And we're going to use x squared plus y squared equals r squared. So we have x squared plus 1 squared equals 2 squared. So x squared equals 4 minus 1. Therefore, x equals square root of 3. And it's going to be positive because of the inverse here. We know that, well, first of all, when you first do this, you have to put plus and minus. Sorry about that. Plus and minus. All right, and we know it's positive because for inverse sine, that's in quadrant 1 or 4. Because this is positive, that means we're in quadrant 1. So my angle belongs to quadrant 1. So that means my x is positive as well. So I'm going to let x be positive. Therefore, cotan of theta, which is x over y, equals x, which is square root of 3, over y, which is 1. So cotan of theta is square root of 3. Okay, let's try a couple more. Let's try tan of inverse sine of 1/3. Okay, in this case, we are still in quadrant 1. And for the inverse of sine, that means my angle is either in quadrant 1 or quadrant 4. Since this is positive, that means we're in quadrant 1. Therefore, my x, y, and y are both positive. I'm going to set this again. Sine of theta equals 1/3. We know sine of theta is y over r. We know we need to know tangent of theta, because that's what this is, tan of theta. And that is y over x. So again, we're missing our x. So we use our Pythagorean theorem or a circle formula. We know r is 3. We know y is 1. We don't know x. So we're going to get x squared equals 8. And you square root both sides and get x equals plus or minus square root of 8, which is plus or minus 2 square root of 2. Now we're going to take the positive because we're in quadrant 1. So tan is y. This is going to be 1 over my x, which is 2 over square root of 2. Now to simplify this, we have 1 over 2 square root of 2. And we're going to rationalize the denominator. And the numerator gives you square root of 2. And when you multiply this out, this is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. And that is your answer. Okay, let's try another one. Let's try one more. Let's try one where the cotan of inverse sine of negative 1/2. Now in this case, since this is negative, that means my angle is in quadrant 4. So therefore, I'm going to set this to my angle. I have sine of theta equals negative 1/2, which is y over r. I know y is negative 1/2, and I know r is 2. Therefore, we have to find x. We know x is going to be positive because x is positive in quadrant 4. So we're going to get the same thing we did before, where we have x squared plus negative 1 squared equals 2 squared. So x squared equals 3. So x is going to be square root of 3. And I'm just going ahead and making it positive since we know that x is positive. Therefore, cotan of theta is x over y. And x is going to be positive. So we have cotan of theta equals square root of 3. And my y is negative 1. So my answer is negative square root of 3, which makes sense because cotan is negative in quadrant 4. Okay? Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.